What's up, everyone? This is your host, Stephanie Sweet,
And your co-host Nia Adri.
and you are tuned into the GrownupIsh Podcast. Welcome again to another episode, y'all.
Welcome,
Hello.
welcome. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I'm good. I just went today and got my COVID vaccination.
You did?
I
How was
did.
that?
It was cool. It was
Yeah?
cool. I was not one of those people that was like super on board for
Yeah.
the vaccine. It honestly just happened. Like they offered it for the teachers starting this week.
Uh huh.
And I was like, oh, if it comes to me, then I'll get it. Like if they make it available, then
Yeah.
I'll take it. So it came. So I went ahead and got it today. It was a quick process. I did the Johnson & Johnson shot,
So
which
it's just the one.
yes,
Uh huh.
it's just the one. So I am done. That's all I needed to do.
Yeah, one and done. And that's the one that just recently got approved, like last week or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it had gotten approved overseas. And let me say, I didn't do my research. I don't watch the news. I am that person that's just out there in the abyss. My lovely nail tech, Black Jack, y'all see the claws. Y'all see the claws.
We see it. We see it,
She
boo.
she updated me today and informed me more today. So I went in kind of blind about it all because I'm like, oh, there's an option for just one. Okay, cool. So she told me today, like it had been approved overseas. It just hadn't gotten approved here yet. So it had been approved overseas, and then we got it approved here, and then we're rolling with it. I mean, I feel fine. I feel fine. You feel it going in like any other shot, and
Yeah.
then um, after that, I was a little sore. Now I'm sore, but I'm sore on both sides because I've been working out every day since last week,
Okay,
Saturday.
killer.
Yeah, so now my soreness is just from me working out. But yeah,
Is
I
this
did
part
that.
part of it? So you just got it done today.
Yeah, this morning.
And you don't feel I mean besides that little soreness which is
Mm-mm.
normal, that has been the consistent complaint or symptoms. One of the symptoms they say, like, oh, the arm is sore, some people it hurts more than others, and
Yep.
but
But other
nothing
than that, I'm
else.
fine. No, my usual. I mean, I'm sleepy, but I'm always sleepy, so that's nothing
It was
new. So
sleepy.
yeah, I'm fine. Hopefully, though, I believe it's mind over matter. I believe that you speak life. So if I'm speaking like, oh, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, then I think it happens. I went in today with a positive mindset that I'm gonna do my part to
Yeah.
try to, curve everything that's going on and
Yeah.
just me being in the schools, I'm with the kids every day. I have no
Yeah.
choice but to be around people.
Yeah.
I can be honest, I still move around. I'm not out socializing as much as I would like to be, but I'm also not staying in my house, like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, if it's available to me, let me
So
go
it's
take it
yeah,
and
it's
just
another
try
added
to,
layer of protection too. Yeah.
yeah, just try to do my part, to keep us
and
protected.
and the COVID shot doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. What it does is it allows you to be able to have a better fighting chance if you are to contract the COVID virus,
Exactly.
that you are able to withstand it better than you would if
Exactly.
you didn't have the shot,
Hmm.
period. So where some people might end up in the hospital, and some people, to the extent where they even pass or whatever, that
This is going to give
likeliness
you a better
drops.
fighting chance.
Yeah, the
Exactly. And
chances of that
ideally, keep
happening
you out
drop
of the
drastically.
hospital. Yeah, ideally, keep you out of the hospital. So
Correct.
that's where I look at it. And like,
So you
I
can
have
still catch it.
multiple reasons. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
multiple reasons for why I'm like, well, let me just get the vaccination. Let me just cut down my chances, or give myself a better chance. And also, like, I have friends. Well, a friend, she had a baby a year ago. I haven't been able to go see her baby. I want to,
Yeah.
I want to be able to go at least meet her, be around her for a little bit, and I feel safer doing so now that I'm vaccinated. So, it's just been a lot of things. Everybody complains about not wanting to wear a mask anymore. So let's do what we need to do as a people to get to a place where we don't have to wear a mask anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah, that it was a lot. It was a lot of reasons. And I'm just like, if I turn into a zombie, I turn into a zombie.
Yo, it's so scary to think. Like, so I haven't gotten my shot.
Yeah.
I can because, now I'm in the healthcare industry, so
Mm-hmm.
I around people all the time with work, and it's just harder to, just keep safer because you're just exposed to a lot more people, right? And I'm nervous. I always get nervous because my hands like get so dry because I'm constantly washing my hands now, constantly wiping my area down,
Mm-hmm.
constantly just like, wearing the mask 24/7 while I'm out. But I have my niece, I have my mom, I have my
Yeah.
husband. It's just so hard to
And
think
I had
like,
to,
what if you bring something
and
home
that's
and
where I
then
had to think like
you're the
this is not
cause
about
of
me.
it?
Like I didn't do it for me. Honestly, I didn't get the shot for me. I got the shot like you said. I come over there sometimes, and then you guys
Yeah,
have the baby over there sometimes, or my grandma, she's high risk, so it's just like. And then I'm around these kids, I'm around these
yeah.
babies, and it's allergy
Well,
season. They've been sniffing and coughing and stuff, and I'm just like, their immune systems are now vulnerable because they have allergies. I've had two kids out because of allergies, but the parents are freaking out because of
yeah, they
COVID,
don't know.
everybody's like
Yeah,
dismissing the fact that it's allergies. Like
yeah,
they're jumping
yeah,
straight to the extreme with it now. And they're like, I had to go take them to get a COVID test. Oh my gosh, Miss Bankhead, like, is anybody else sick? I'm like, I mean, I sneeze every day. I'm always sneezing now. Like,
yeah,
it's my allergies. So
yeah.
it's a lot. But yeah, I did that today. Then I went and got my nails done, and you know, that's it. I've been just I'm gonna keep putting my nails up here because
So we could see. All
she
right,
did her
showing out.
thing. She did her thing. And,
Yeah, I haven't been out the house yet. I got dressed for this. We're gonna probably head out in a little bit, my husband and I, but I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, we're probably just gonna grab a bite to eat or something. Like,
it's gloomy
spending
too.
it.
It's like such
It's
a
like,
gloomy
yeah, it's
day.
gloomy. I actually want to go to this vegan place that they sell ice cream. Well, I want to try
Ooh.
this vegan restaurant. Dejans. I always mess up the name. Dejans. It's in Eatonville. It's so good. Oh my gosh, their food looks so good. I've been saying, we should go check them out. So we may do that and then head to this other ice cream place that's also vegan. And
Ooh.
it's downtown. So just grab like a nice little ice cream cone and just walk around Lake Eola and have a little date or whatever.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
spend a little us time, but yeah. Besides that, I don't have anything planned for the week. For the weekend, I mean, I need to buckle down and get the stuff that I say I'm gonna do actually done. But I feel bad
Yeah.
because he's like always out, and then we don't spend time together, and it's just
Gotta have that quality time. It is essential.
yeah, yeah.
It is
Yeah,
essential.
we spend time, but it's like I don't, it's like, oh, at the end of the day when I'm tired and I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm here.
ready to go to sleep. So, yeah. So, well, let's get into today's topic. Today we're going to be talking about being submissive.
Submissive.
Yeah. And
It's
so instantly this is a funny thing. Like, I asked my husband, I said, okay, so what do you think about, the word submissive and being submissive in a relationship? And he's like, instantly he went to like, oh, babe, in the bedroom? Like, you mean in the bedroom? And I'm like, no,
that's
not
not
in the bedroom. Why is that?
that's not where I was going with it. I mean, we can go there,
Right.
but that's not exact. That was
Like,
my first thought.
that was my first initial thought. There is, I mean, yeah. So when you say the word being, or when you say the phrase being submissive, or use the word submissive, people do tend to kind of gravitate towards the thought of like the bedroom in the sense of, doms versus subs.
Subs.
Yeah, and that whole role play aspect of it. And I can't say that I've done role play like that. Have you?
No, I've never been in a dom sub type situation. I know some people that are into that, but Me myself personally, no, I've never been it, never
Yeah,
done
I
it.
don't. I mean, there'll be moments where one person is more of the aggressor than the other, but
Yeah,
I don't consider that to be like a dom sub,
nah.
because to me, I'm thinking, when I think dom, I'm thinking, okay, you are in control of the other person, and the other
Yes,
person
complete
is,
control.
yeah, in complete control, safely, right? Use those safe words, and it's an agreed upon
Yes,
situation, okay? And the sub is going to be compliant with whatever activities you guys have planned, and it's a mutual understanding, and there's safe words and code words involved, and
hmm,
like that type of play, which is fine, that's
yeah,
great. Go for it, people, whoever's into that. I've
yeah.
never done it
I'm not.
before, but
I'm not
not
against it. I'm not against it.
I'm not against it either. Although I feel like I want to be the dom than the sub.
I feel like we talked about that, and you definitely have said that several times that you want to
I
be.
think I have, haven't I?
Yeah, I want you to live out this fantasy. Just one time. Just one. After we
Am
went to
I?
the sex store,
Oh
we
yeah.
were definitely down with the whips and handcuffs. So
And flogging. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I kind of like it. I
mhm.
might to do to someone else. I personally, I don't mind
He said,
inflicting
"Not
pain,
I, but you
but
can.
you can take the pain.
You can take it. You
You
come
can
here.
take the
Let me hit you."
pain.
Yeah, we gonna let you live that out, and then possibly also talk to somebody about that.
I don't know. I don't know that my husband would be into it, but conversation for another day, Queen.
Make that list. Make
Yes.
that list. But yeah, I haven't been into that, and I don't. For me, of course, when I hear this topic of like women need to be submissive, or like women saying I'm not gonna be submissive. First off, there's so much negativity surrounding it. I feel like where I'm like, why does being submissive have to be a bad thing? I don't
Yeah.
personally feel like being submissive is a bad thing, and honestly, I do feel like more women are open to being submissive. Um, it just has to be a certain situation, and with that, I think we have to have an understanding of what it means to be submissive. Like, what does being
Exactly.
submissive even mean, and what does that look like? And I think for certain people in certain situations, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
What I consider being submissive, somebody else may be like, no, that's not being submissive. That's just, going along with the flow, or that's just what should happen. I don't it's subjective again, which most things are. I find
Yeah.
most things as it relates are up to the person in that situation or that relationship. So for me, I feel like when I say, okay, I want to be a submissive woman, or I want to be submissive in my relationship, what I'm talking about is like I want to be in a relationship where the man is like the head of house. Like he can make most of the judgment calls. Like I know that he got it. He can hold it down. Like,
Yeah. You want him to be the head of the household.
yes. Because when we look at, I just was looking at like to be submissive by definition is submitting to others. How to you like being submitting to others, so like giving in, yielding in, handing over control, like obeying, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, like for me, is like I want to be in a marriage where I am submissive in the sense that like if my husband calls a shot, I'm going to be like in agreement with that. And be like, okay, cool. Like I support it. I trust him. I can trust him to make these calls without me necessarily being present or being there. I can let him be the charge. However, where I think my definition is going to be conflicting with some others is that I'm not just going to go with everything you say,
Yeah.
because I believe that a marriage also should be a partnership. So
Yeah.
although I want you to have the power and feel like you can make these calls, still loop me in.
Yeah.
Hey babe, this is what's going on. This is what I'm thinking we should do, or this is how I'm thinking we should handle this situation. Run it by me still. But nine
Yeah.
times out of ten, I'm going to trust your judgment. Now I feel like the issue comes into play is that things aren't like they were back in the day. This is not the olden days where
Where someone's just gonna go along with what you say. And I think that therein lies the drawing of the line, right?
yes,
So that's the difference. When I hear when people hear, submission versus where in the bedroom, where is that dominance, like dom
yeah,
versus sub, where there is a power, a play of power,
hmm,
and you are going to be compliant, you're going to succumb
do
to
as you're
my
told.
instructions, yeah, and follow my instructions or obey my rules or give in to my requests,
Yeah.
right? Like follow my orders, all of that, right? That's that dom versus sub kind of
Hmm.
play, right? And then when we think about it in a relationship aspect, overall relationship, there are layers to it there. And I think to me the difference is it's not even more of like, oh, you're being submissive. To me, I take the submissive word to mean more so of compromise. To me, it's compromise. It's finding a way to come to an agreement where, yeah, my husband and I are making these decisions, and we're going to mutually find a compromise, be it me giving into something he wants or him giving into something that I want. So it's a constant flow. And I agree, 50-50. It's a partnership, right?
Hmm.
But it's not always 50-50. it's
And
it's
that's what I
just
was gonna
that is
say.
the giving in, and the flow of taking the reins and
Yeah,
just
and that's what I was gonna
always
say.
communicating.
I feel like it's not even just the compromise; it's trust. It's really a trust
Right.
thing because I think
Right.
that's the biggest risk. Biggest reason I can't talk today. The biggest reason why women are not so open and easily going along with the submissive thing that keeps coming up is because we have to be able to trust that you can lead, that you can be that dom
Exactly.
in this relationship.
Exactly. And
And
then it will
a lot
come
of,
naturally. It
yeah,
will come naturally.
and some of you men, no, well, no, I'm throwing shade today. Some of you men just not showing us qualities of a leader. Y'all don't got y'all shit together. You ain't
Yeah.
leading your own damn life. How do you think you finna lead me? You can't lead yourself. You don't know where you going, and you think you about to lead
Exactly.
me? Oh no,
Right. And we don't
sweetheart.
want the blind leading the blind,
No,
you know?
exactly. Like you can't come in and what my ex used to call it, and I do actually like the way he called it, is be a man's man. Okay, that's what he would say. He a man's man. Okay, we're going to submit when you come in and you can say, all right, this is where we're going, this is what we're going to do. I have the plan, I can show you the plan, and I'm already starting to execute the plan. When a
Right.
man comes and you got it together like that, 9 times out of 10 the
Execution.
woman is like,
Right.
beautiful. What do you need, sweetheart? What can I do for you?
Yeah.
That's what we're
How
looking
can I
for.
provide support at that
How
point?
can I
Like,
provide support for you in that key? And when you show me that I can trust you and that you can make sound decisions, I have no problem being submissive. At that point,
that's
like I
it.
said, that's the key. That's the part I was missing.
Yeah.
I want a husband who has shown me that I can trust him. He makes sound decisions. He knows how to set plans and execute them. Because at
Yeah.
that point, I can let him lead and I have no worries. Because a lot of times, the times are different, times have changed. We're not in the place anymore where women are not educated. Women cannot go out there and work in the same work field as men. Things have changed. This is not back in the days when all we could do is work in little factories and make clothes and stay at home. That's it.
Yeah.
Those were our options, to be at home. Or when the war came, then we got to get into some jobs, but we were still limited.
Right.
This is not that anymore. So when I can bring my own table in the chairs, in the cutlery, when I can bring that already, what I'm gonna be submissive to you for? What are you
Ex-
bringing?
exactly. You're not bringing anything to the table. But yeah, you're 100% right, where trust is the main baseline and operating factor in this whole equation of submissiveness. And I think that people who like where they look at it, view it negatively and say that, oh, I don't want to be submissive to no man, or I don't they're missing that
They
part of
are.
it, right? They're not
They are.
understanding that it's not just like you bowing down and serving the other person.
Mm-mm.
It's a mutual understanding, and there's mutual respect, but more than anything there is trust, and it
Mm-hmm.
starts with the trust, and then from there, yeah, if I trust you and I know that you're not going to lead us into like the woods where we're both gonna die, like,
That's
I
it.
trust that you can take the reins and confidently move forward, and I know that stuff is going to get done, or you're going to make the best
Exactly.
decisions, not just for you but for me too, and for our family, or whatever we're trying to
Exactly.
create. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely, it always starts with trust for sure. And that leads to other things, right? And like I was saying, the misunderstanding is that it's just you being kind of giving in, and just being passive and meek,
Mm-hmm.
and or weak, even just because you're submitting. That's
And those
quite
are,
the contrary,
yeah.
because yeah, quite the contrary, because it takes a smart person too to see the qualities of a good leader, or to
Mm-hmm.
recognize that this person has what it takes to be able to um take care of not only themselves but me too, and our family, if we're talking about a relationship in that
Yep.
aspect. And and you're assessing the situation. You're not just always just going along with it too. You're gonna ask your questions. You're gonna find out what's going on. Okay, babe, what's the game plan? Like, what are we doing? Okay, XYZ, XYZ. Everything is laid out. You feel confident. Okay, great. All right, go ahead and do what you
And that's
gotta
what I
do,
want to
babe.
say. The other component of, like you said, and having these discussions, because I know how part of how this topic came up is that I mentioned last week, like, my ideal marriage, my marriage, how I see my marriage is that I want to be married to a man who I can submit to. I
Yeah.
want to be in a marriage where he is the breadwinner. He is managing our money. He is, really kind of calling those shots, and that I can then not so much worry about, are the bills going to get paid today? Um, how we're going to pay for X, Y, and Z. If we want to remodel the house, how are we going to do that? He
Yeah.
has that plan. I can focus on some of those other aspects of, the home part of it, taking care of the home, raising our children. When I have kids, I don't want to have to work the first 4 years of my child's life personally, not work for somebody else. I would like to just be working on my own business. Or even when I get married, I would love for my husband to be like, hey, you still want to do this teaching stuff, or you want to go work on
Want to
opening up
stay
that
home.
personal training business? Yeah. I know you have plans. I know you
Yeah.
have dreams that you want to do, and you can't focus on them the way you want to because you're working.
Yeah.
You want to stop that for a minute, you could put it on hold. I'm not saying you never have to work again, but if you don't want to, just know that's an option. And I've seen it. I've seen that happen. I had a friend, she just got married. They've been married, I think, a year now. And when he proposed to her, shortly after, he was like, so do you want to keep teaching? Or do you want to go and pursue your passion, which she actually designs homes or something like that? Like, that was her actual business.
That's
So
dope.
she's an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, but because you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes chasing your dreams don't pay the bills, so you got to put your dreams to the
Right.
side to pay these bills. I want a man who's going to be able to say, hey, I like what I do. Maybe he's at works a 9 to 5, but he likes that and he's making good money. You go chase your dreams. I'm gonna be here to support your dreams. Like, that's what I want. I want to be submissive. I want to be kind of like a Susie homemaker. And I just want him to come to me and talk to me about it. Like, hey, so this is what's going on.
You
This
keep
is what
say
we got
Can
coming
I say
in.
something? Because you keep saying that you want to be submissive, you want to be a Susie homemaker, but that's not. I get what you're saying, but I want to be
Yeah,
clear that that's not what makes a person submissive either. Just because you want to be able to stay
yeah,
home and do
yeah.
your
You could
own
stay
thing, there are
home.
plenty, huh?
I was gonna say, because you could stay home and still be in your bag, like
Right,
hustling
or you
and
could work and still be
yeah,
submissive, or that's not that doesn't make
that's
or
it.
break the whole
That's
submissive
true.
aspect
Because
of the relationship.
another component of it, that's my dream. But another component is, like,
Exactly.
I have another couple friend, and like in his home, he's the king of his home. He is the king of his home. Like his wife is a sweetheart, and to me, she's like the ideal of being a submissive woman. But she works too. She's educated. She works. She does what she has to do. But she trusts her husband. She trusts
Yeah.
her husband, and they are a partnership too. Like they come
Yeah.
together. They discuss
And
the finances. Although
that's
he
where it
pays it
lies.
all, he pays everything. She's in the know as well. She knows what's going on. She knows what's happening with their money, and she trusts him. So I can see both aspects. I can see you can be a submissive woman and still go out there and work and bring in the bag, and you can be a submissive woman and be at home not working at all or working on your own dreams. It goes both ways. I think that the
Let me
biggest
ask
thing.
you. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. So let me ask you this. So let's say you find a great guy.
Uh-huh.
He is all about, Team Nia. He is amazing, has plenty going on for himself, but he's like, no, we both need to be working. I feel that, I'm able to provide. I can do for us, but I want us both. I want you to not just be staying at home. Like I want you to be doing something. Like we can have the kids are going to be taken care of, like sure, but no. That's not the guy for Nia.
He's not my
She's
husband.
like, bye.
He's not my
It's been
husband. He's
real.
not my husband. Like, and that's I would love all of that, but that is not what I aspire to have. Like I
Okay.
really want
Good
like
for you. No compromise.
no, I'm not compromising because this is the thing. Like I do have very old fashioned views on some stuff. Like I just don't want to have to work. I don't. Not for somebody
Sis
else,
doesn't
not
want to work.
forever.
Got it.
No, not for somebody else, not forever. Like, you know, this is nice, but I do want to I want to lay off some of that burden. I
And you
want
did
to,
say like it's not just like, oh, you don't want to work. You don't mind doing things that are your passion, that you are interested in, like
that's
working
what it
for
is.
yourself
Like,
and creating something
yeah, even
for
if
you
I
and your
started up my
family.
own tutoring business where I really just focused on helping some of our low income children
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
So it's not
get
like you're just
on
home and
level.
that's
Yeah,
it.
I just don't
Yeah.
want to, I don't want to work for somebody else. Like for me at least, as I've gotten older, and it's crazy because originally I never saw myself as the entrepreneur type person. I just didn't see it.
No.
But as time has gone on and I've worked different jobs and I know how kind of disposable we are to some
Yeah.
of these companies,
You
it has
start to
changed my
think I
outlook
need
on
to
it.
have my own stuff where I'm in control at least and I
And I
can do
just
my
want
own
to,
thing.
I just ideally want to be in
I
a
feel you
place
on that.
where I am still contributing to my household, but I'm doing it in a way that, Lord forbid, something does happen to my husband and where he can't work or something like that, where
Yeah.
we're still good over here too. And then I don't have to depend on punching the clock because we're still making in good money over here. Like that's the vision that I have. And I don't even know if this is again, I don't even think this is it's not even about submissive. I think the true definition of submissive only does apply in the bedroom. I think that's the only time that the actual legit definition applies. Because in the bedroom, that's when you really are obeying orders. When you say get down and never mind, I'm gonna stop there. But in a marriage,
No, no,
in a
that's not
marriage,
true because in some cases it extends outside of the bedroom and it rolls into the everyday life, right? So,
but if we're still
con-
having agreements, like if we're still having these discussions and you're running it by me, that's still a little
no,
different than just like
that's not what
this
I
is what
mean.
I'm
I
gonna
mean
do
like
and that's it. I'm saying that this is what I'm buying for the house and there's gonna be no questions about it. So Lenny come in and he said, yeah, just so you know, I bought a car and that's it. We getting this new car.
no, but what
Oh,
I mean,
look at your face. It was like,
no, no, no. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, the same way, like the dominance is done in the bedroom, like that rolls over into like there are people that live like that across the board.
oh
Yes,
yeah,
into their
no,
lives.
some.
Yeah,
Like they
and
just
that's
like
how they
no,
are. Like, yeah,
that's
I do everything, and I tell you what goes and what doesn't go,
but I'm
and
talking
there
about
isn't no.
for that
Yeah,
the normal not normal, the average Joe.
yeah.
The average Joe, we not where any road that stopped when we walked out that room, when we put our regular clothes on, we necky time ended.
That's it.
That's
That
when
stops. Okay, role
after
play
we finished,
over.
Simon Says finish right then and there, and we went to now we're a partnership, but we are on, you know, not necessarily
Yeah,
always equal
majority,
status,
right?
but yeah,
Majority. And then there
yeah.
are those relationships that it's like, just it's just bad toxic relationships where the one person, one party is forcibly submissive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, excuse me, dominant
Mm-hmm.
and is like real aggressive. They are the aggressors and they're really just
Mm-hmm.
being abusive really at
Yeah.
that point. There's also that aspect of it too. But for me, like I struggled with being submissive just because I like control. So I like to know that things are going to get done and I like to do things the way I like to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to know. I need to know that you're going to do it and do it right and then do it to the Stefany standard. And so relinquishing control for me has been quite difficult. It's a learning progress.
Yeah.
And in addition to trust, which is one of like the main baseline,
Yes.
there has to be patience too, right? So not every situation is going to be like easy and amicable. And um you get into situations where you have another dominant
Yeah.
personality, meaning someone who also likes things the way that they like them, and it's gonna be challenging, right? You can butt
It
heads
is.
because you're gonna think, okay, I have the right plan, just follow my plan, and they're gonna think, no,
Listen to
I have the
me.
better plan. I think this is great, or I think this idea is perfect. Your idea sucks. So it's kind of like that compromise and patience that you need to have for one another to be able to like
Mm-hmm.
work through and say, okay, we're gonna try this time, and then maybe we're gonna try that the next time. So
Yeah.
it's been a learning progress for me, and thankfully, like my my husband, he's like so easygoing. He's just kind of like he's very like set on certain things. Like
Yes.
he'll give me his opinion and stuff, and we make decisions together. Um, but he's not like where he's like very picky about stuff, and it's just like important decisions, we make decisions together. But
Yeah.
when like it's like house stuff, he's kind of like, whatever, who cares. He doesn't care about those things. But where I see that in relationships where that can be a problem is when it comes to just major life decisions like work, moving,
Mm-hmm.
finances. Finances is like the biggest thing. I think like people, you going into a relationship, and you need to know each other's spending habits and have that
Yep.
understanding of like, what do you like to do, what do you not like to do, because that can cause a lot of stress. And if one person likes to be frivolous and the other person is, orderly and meticulous about their spending, that can cause a lot of drama. And if you're not going to like work out a plan and like follow the plan, you're going to be still spending. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue.
So I have
So
a question, but I want to wait. I want to do classy ratchet or real,
let's do it.
and then after that, I have a question that is going to connect back to what we just talked about with the finance part and just the general idea of being submissive. So let's get into classy ratchet or real. Do we have any stories for this episode? Any viewer sharing from our
Yes, you go ahead and I'll pull it up.
Okay. I did not think ahead this week, even though I knew this topic was coming. Um, I didn't think ahead, but I guess let me see. I don't have anything directly related to being submissive per se. Um, I do have a quick story. It's not
Oh,
really a.
okay.
It's not a story. It's not really directly submissive, but um, I
Tell
didn't
us, I want to
realize
hear it.
how easily I do follow directions. I don't ask questions. Like I just don't. Like in the bedroom, if a dude tell me to like go like this, do that, I'm
I
like,
already knew. I already knew. Good. Like,
all
let's
right,
hear the
that's it. That's
story.
it. That's it. So this dude I was talking to, we were like laying in the bed, but we weren't doing anything. And he was just like turn over. So I did it. He was like, okay, do this. And I was like, okay, do that. And I was like, okay. And then he just stopped. He was like, I just want to see if you take direction and you listen. And I was like, oh, okay. Yes.
I take directions very well.
Follow
Yes.
directions
Just keep
very well.
telling me.
Listen, I follow directions the first time. So yeah. little I don't even know what to call that story.
Our little Simon says.
Little Simon says I do
A
follow
little.
directions well. So yeah, no, I don't have any real per se stories directly connected to submission. It's just like I am, even though I can be a very dominant person, and like you said, I do like stuff a certain way. I'm very like strong minded and strong willed. When it comes to relationships or dating, like I like a man to lead. I like my man to drive.
I think we all like a
I just
good
want to
leading
be
man.
a nice little princess being taken care of and being pampered.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you
But that
go ahead.
comes with us seeing that you can handle the responsibility
Yes.
of taking charge and leading us, and you're gonna lead us to greatness.
And I'm thankful because I was going to say, I was trying to think, have I had a situation where I let a man lead and he led me to some damn destruction? And thankfully, no. So,
Or just not lead, period. Like, just don't have any plans, don't have anything going, don't have no
mm-mm,
idea to, like,
no.
make things better, and
And that
just.
goes back to my connection about I don't date down. I like to date men who show me leadership qualities, who show me, they're very strong willed, strong minded. Like I like that to me is a turn on. Ambitious, go getter, like men, like again, not even just talking about the financial aspect. A man that shows me he sets goals and accomplishes them, and like he's a man with a plan. That is
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
really good.
okay.
But when you think about
I
it,
like
though,
it. I
Nia,
love
it's
to see
like
it. Love
how
to see it.
many. Yeah, how many people really, even in general, like to find somebody who sets goals and achieves them like consistently, that's a very successful person. You know what I mean? That's like someone who's on fire. Like and I don't want to say the average, but like in general, people are going to stumble, falling. You know what I mean? Like
They are.
me
But there are
included.
people that
Me
do it too.
included.
Like there are people that do it. Like think about it.
Oh yeah,
Even
that's what
though,
I'm that's
like
what I'm
even
saying. It's
though
like it's
because
very
people
it's
do
very
stumble.
hard to find somebody who's going to, you know, consistently be hitting marks. But what we're trying to say, like what I'm getting at is for the listeners to understand is like it's someone who has like the effort, like who actually puts effort,
Hmm.
because failure is going to come. Like
Yeah,
that's going to happen, and most of the time you're gonna fail before you even succeed, right? But it's the type of personalities, that personality of like the driver, like who's someone who's driven and who
that's it. The
has who
drive
tries to
because
find purpose, and yeah, and has that
and know
has
that
that
it might
want
not
and that
happen
need.
overnight. And like
Yeah,
knowing that it
yeah,
might not happen overnight. Because I was gonna say when you're like, well, it's hard. I'm like, bruh, again, I know some people that's like it doesn't happen overnight, but I know people that
right,
have walked away from day jobs and grew their business and they popping. I know people that have been
yeah.
focused on their niche for years now and it's blowing up and it's coming for them. It didn't happen
Yeah,
right
and it's
away,
refined. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
refining
it
it.
didn't happen
Yeah.
right away. I know people that, have been doing what they're doing for that, showing me like I'm not giving up. Like this is my end goal. I'm going to
Correct.
make it happen
Correct. Yeah.
and I'm gonna
And
keep
they'll
going.
try something, it may not work out, they'll pivot, they'll move on, or they're just
Yes.
they're
Cause I'm like
constantly.
I could easily say that even like looking like, okay, me and like the fitness stuff and like wanting to ideally in my end goal being like a trainer and like really making fitness my breadwinner. Like I've been talking about that for years. So for some people that's like, okay, Renee, you've been talking about that. Obviously you're not doing nothing to make it happen. But what you don't see is sometimes people's back behind the story, behind the scenes and what they're working and the connections and the people that they're coming encountered with. Use a lot of times people just see that end goal. So
Yeah.
while you necessarily may not see what somebody is doing, you'll see when they pop out with this business or they pop out with this clientele or
Yeah,
whatever.
and you
I
don't know
want,
how long they've been working
yeah,
on it.
and
You don't
I can
know
still
how many
admire,
times they fell before they succeeded. You
exactly.
don't
I can
know who
still,
helped them,
man,
and yeah,
admire that person who I still see the strides. I still
yeah,
see, that's why I'm still gonna post
exactly.
me working out. I'm still gonna constantly keep talking about fitness. I'm still gonna do my other
Yeah.
stuff. So I can still admire a person who's still setting up the things in order to get it to go to where they're trying to get to. But that's a tangent. I just went off on a tangent there. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to clarify for the listeners. Like, don't be thinking like you need to just find someone who's like consistently gonna be successful,
He
and you
did this,
see
he
boom,
did
boom,
that,
boom.
he
You
did
know,
this, he
it's
did
not
that.
like,
Da, 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 da. No, it's not. That's
yeah,
not the
that's not
reality.
how it's
You know?
necessarily gonna look. But it's
Mm-mm.
identifying the person who's just gonna have that want, that need, that drive, who is confident in themselves to say, "Hey, babe, I got you." And when I say I got you by any means necessary. I'm gonna make things
Yes.
happen for us, and I'm gonna make sure that we're straight. You know what I'm saying? No
Because
matter
the
what I
same
gotta
way
do, babe.
I want somebody that's going to be consistently fighting for and striving for, success in a career or whatever it is that they're working on. That's what I need to bring. You got to bring that same energy to the relationship because a relationship is not going to be easy. A relationship is going to have the downfall, or I don't even want to say necessarily failures, but there's going to be moments where it's just not beautiful. It's rough. So I need to know that just how you can stick and be consistent with what you're working towards for yourself, that you can be consistent in working towards us and working for us. So it's bigger than just, a career and, dreams and ambitions. Like those are personality traits. And ideally, those you want to look for those personality traits that are going to be impactful and beneficial for your relationship too. If a man is
Yeah.
showing you these qualities that, he is not easily moved or pushed over, or he doesn't just give up easily. He's a fighter. Okay, good, because he's gonna fight for this love. Okay.
Okay.
It ain't so
Okay.
deep. It's so deep today.
So let's get into this letter that came in, and we went off on a tangent. We were doing classy, ratchet, real, and we just got
No, I didn't do
sidetracked.
nothing ratchet today.
But bringing it back to the letter, to the listener's letter, and this is from Lisa, and she doesn't say where she's from. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for
Hey,
writing.
Lisa, we
I'm
appreciate it.
surprised. Right. You made it. She says, "Hi, Stephanie and Nia. I'm so excited for you guys joining forces. Great job. You are both doing amazing. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I have a question to pose to the two of you. I've been in a relationship with my husband, or I guess she's married. I've been in a relationship with my husband for the past 5 years, and things have been great. He is an amazing husband and really takes care of me and our family. We have
Mhm.
3 kids. Just recently, his mom has gotten ill, and so she's had to move in to live with us temporarily as she is getting better. I have uh, I have a business on the side, and so it's easy for me to stay home and help out. So I've been staying to help his mom. I've been staying home to help his mom. Now my issue is that she's very critical of me and always has something to say. She complains about me not cooking as much and how I need to stay home more with the kids. She also is very critical about my relationship with my husband and thinks that he needs to be more stern with me. What? He needs to be more stern with me. She's normally very nice, but now that she's living here with us, she's just really getting on my nerves, and her criticism is starting to get to me. I do my best to run my side business along with take care of my family, but it's hard for me to do everything. Yeah, girl, you got your hands full.
You do.
Yeah. My question is how do I confront my husband about letting my mother-in-law speak to me or any old type of way, and how do I get him to tell her to fall back? he is around when she's made certain comments and hasn't really checked her about that. And I don't know that that is, I don't feel that that is fair. I am his wife. I am the head of this household along with him. This is our home. And so I feel that his mom should not talk to me in this manner. How, what can I do to make the situation work? Thanks, ladies, for your advice.
Ooh, ooh.
Right. Well, first of
Mm.
all, girl, I applaud you for taking care of mom-in-law. You know, that's very
Yes,
nice and very
yes,
awesome.
yes, yes.
And thank you for sending a letter, first of all. That
And
is
be willing
great.
to hear advice from us, because I mean, I do have some things I want to share on this. But thank you for even trusting our insight enough to weigh in on this situation, because this is a heavy one and this is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Like it's a tough one.
Yeah. So I first, you know, like coming from my culture, you have to be respectful of your elders. You have to
Yes.
be respectful, you know, of, you know, your in-laws, and you have
Mhm.
to do everything for your in-laws when you
Mhm.
first get married. Like, not even when you first get married, just like in general. Our culture takes that very seriously, and it's like you have to prove yourself, you know, as
Mhm.
the daughter, you know, taking the son, and their moms is like always like, oh, ain't
You
nobody
gotta
gonna
show
take
you're
care
worthy of
of my
her
baby better than
son.
I can, right? So, you know, I wonder what culture she is. But
Yeah.
besides that, I think that, yeah, you should have a conversation with your husband and talk to your husband separately, and just say, hey, you know, this is how I feel. I don't think that that's right. And, you know, you need to tell your mom, hey, mom, like, calm down, you know, relax. She's doing the best that she can, and she's working hard, and she's here helping you
Mhm.
out. You know, you don't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. Mom could have easily ended up in a nursing home, or you could have
Yeah.
gotten a nurse to be taking care of her. It doesn't necessarily have to be you. And that's another option. If she continues, maybe perhaps, I mean, I don't know how you guys, you know, if you guys can do this, but if it's possible, maybe look into getting a nurse to come in and take care of her, so it's not you doing um the heavy lifting all the time yourself. And I'm sure that can be stressful, to take care of a home, to take care of your business, to take care of a husband and not take care of mother-in-law. That's a lot.
Mhm. And I was just going to add in is that this definitely sounds like our favorite word, communication.
Yeah.
Communication with your husband, getting that understanding, and expressing how you feel. I really hope that you have a husband who you can have these talks with about how you're feeling and how it's making you feel. Because come to him from a place of love as best as you can, and just expressing how you feel. Hey, I just wanted to talk with you. When she makes these comments, this is how it makes me feel. Maybe because he may not necessarily feel comfortable addressing her, but if he's not going to address her and just let her know, like, hey, mom, that's not okay. She's doing the best she can. Or even, hey, she makes these comments. Can you stick up for me? This is how it makes me
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah,
Do
in
you
that
feel,
moment,
or
just to
even
say,
take it
hey,
away from
mom.
mom, take it away
Yeah.
from mom and say, hey, do you feel these same things? Well, no, I don't. Well, you don't say nothing about it. When she said you don't say nothing to defend me, so it makes her
Yeah.
think that it's okay. Because I
Yeah.
think that's a even better angle than just bringing it to him, asking, hey, how do you feel? Because if she's saying these things in front of him and he's not necessarily reacting or responding, hey, we good? Are we good here? Or do you think the
Right.
same thing she's thinking?
Right.
And
Are
then
you
it's
in
just like, well, no,
agreement with
babe.
the statements that she's making as she's
Yeah,
making them,
because then it's
because
just
you're
like,
not
no,
defending
babe.
me?
Yes, no, babe. That's not how I feel. I do think, okay, well, next time she says it, can you let her know that you're good with it? Because I'm your wife and I'm trying to be appealing to you and pleasing to you. And keep that in mind. If your husband is happy with the way that you run the house, your husband is happy with the amount that you
At the end
cook,
of the day.
that's all that matters. Like, and
But
I
that's
know,
strange, because she says he that the mother-in-law feels that he's very lenient, I guess. I forget what word
Like
she
he's not putting
uses.
his foot down. Is he not
Yeah, yeah,
controlling enough? He's not being
yeah.
dominating enough, domineering enough, dominating,
But that's
dominating. I don't know. He's not
dominant. He's not
dominating his
being very
home.
dominant. But
Yes,
I
he's not being
mean,
very dominant.
like, who is she? Like, this is their house. If
It
he
is their
is,
house.
and
And
it
then,
doesn't sound like what's her name, Lisa, is doing anything
no,
crazy, at least
no.
based on the letter. It doesn't seem like she's out here just like letting the kids run amok
No, and
or
I would just say, Lisa, again, be respectful. I'm gonna give you advice that I probably wouldn't take myself. Continue to be respectful, because Renia, on the other hand, probably would have politely let Mama know in the most respectful way I can. Because I agree with you. I agree with you to a certain degree that you do respect your elders. You do, especially if I was married, I want to respect my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, make them feel comfortable, give them love. But I also feel like when you come into my house, you got to be respectful of me as well. So I would have to
that's
let Mom
it.
know in a respectful manner, like, excuse me, Miss So and So, or Mama, whoever, whatever you call her.
I love you, but
I love you, but you really overstepping your boundaries right now.
my
Um,
home.
this is my home, and me and my
I'm
husband.
taking care of you.
Yes, this is how we run our home. Okay. So, with all due respect, you can keep those comments to yourself, ma'am, because they not helping nothing over here. Okay. So, first, though, have the discussion with your husband. Make sure that
Yeah.
you guys are on the same page and
That's
that you
first
guys
and
are good.
foremost. And
That's
then
first
meet
and
with her.
foremost.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
at that point, if he doesn't, step up and defend you the next time it happens, I would give him the warning too. Like, listen, well, if you're not going to say anything, then I'm going to say something. I'm not going to be disrespectful because that's your mom and I do love her, but I don't want to be uncomfortable in
I'm
my
gonna
own.
address it how I want to address it, and at that point, it is what it is. We're
I
gonna
think
be
sis is good.
respectful,
I think
but
her health is back on point. She can go home now. She good over here. But no, like for real, I think
bye.
I agree that this is the best route to go. Have the discussion with your husband.
Yeah.
Come from a place of love. Let him know how you feel. Make sure that y'all are on the same page. Make sure that he don't feel the same way that she feels. Maybe we need to have a discussion. Hey, do you think I'm not cooking enough? And then obviously he's okay with how he's managing, or not managing, but the dynamic of your relationship, the power
Yeah,
of your
because he must have
relationship.
not have said anything up until this point. I'm sure you would have had concern or conversations prior if he would have
Right. I
been
don't feel
upset
like
about.
you make me, some men, you don't
Yeah,
make me feel
definitely
like
have
a
a
man.
conversation with your
First
husband
off,
just to
don't ignore
see.
that comment. Ignore that completely, because I hate that you don't make me let me be a man. How I don't let you be you're a man. But
You already are.
I can't let
Yeah.
you do something you are, sir. That's on you to do it. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
ignore that statement about the whole he doesn't have the power that she thinks she should have, or ignore
Yeah.
that. Throw that out the window, because I
Yeah.
don't. Again, depending on her age, depending on when she was dating back in her day, depending on her marriage history
There
and
are other variables that we're not
there's
privy
so many
to
things.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She could come from the time where, like we was talking about back in the day, where
Yeah,
her
she didn't
submissive was just
say
that.
her
The
age.
man lead the house. That's it. You don't ask no questions. You just cook and clean and shut your mouth, and that's it. That could be where his mom, her generation, what was happening in their household. But because we are a different generation, a different time, and she has some say so and some input of what's going on, that could rub them on the wrong way. But
Yeah.
that's her own
A
personal.
lot of variables.
There's a lot of variables, but
Yeah.
make sure that everything
Girl, go ahead and
in your
holler
head.
at your husband. Have a conversation with him. Make sure you're
Yep.
on the same page and you're not missing anything. And then from there, just voice your concerns about, mom-in-law, and you guys are a unit, you are a team, and so you have to be working cohesively as a unit. Don't let anyone, even if it's your mother-in-law, come in between your union, right? So if everything
Yep.
has been good thus far, then I would be of the mind to think that she is just her opinion, is it's not your husband that feels this way, right? And so there
Yep.
should be no problem with him making sure that his mom understands that that's not going to fly in y'all household. And if he doesn't feel comfortable saying it, you say it in a respectful way, in a reasonable way and just say, hey, mom, we're here to help you. We want you to feel better and be better, and you're always welcome in our house. But the comments in reference to how we run this household, they're not needed. They're not necessary. We're going to do what we want to do in our household. And we appreciate you. We love you, but please stay out of it. And then
That's
boom,
it.
done and done. Okay, boo. But thank
Yeah.
you for your letter. Thank you for writing us, Lisa. You're the first writer. Ooh. And this is actually
Yeah.
ties into the topic,
It
submissiveness a
did.
little
I was
bit.
gonna say that aligned perfectly.
That's
So
actually that worked out.
what I wanted to then bring us into, and as we begin our slow wrap up, was that do you feel today, women today, and even men, do you feel that we are being taught or being raised uh, to not be trusting or submissive? And in particular for women, since that's the main issue that, because of gender roles. Do you feel that we are being taught to not be submissive? And what I mean by that is a lot of us, especially Black women, we have been taught and raised that you always have your own. You always
Yep.
have your own, or you always have your money on the side when we talk about that financial aspect. You always
Yep.
have your money on your, like, we hear that as soon as moms start talking about, being a woman and becoming a woman. It's you always have your own money on the side. You always got to make sure you got your ducks in a row over here, just in case something. So do you think that we are kind of being taught to not be as trusting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I feel, yeah, to a certain degree, it's it's that have your own back.
Yes.
At the end of the day, make sure that you're going to be straight, right? And that, don't wait around for no man to come save you.
Hmm.
Don't rely on anyone else to provide for you or take care of you. You need to be able to take care of yourself and be
Yes.
self-sufficient, self-reliant, and independent.
Yep.
INDEP,
Hey, 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 hey. Oh, that's my
um
grandma's favorite song, girl. Talking about something. Oh, that's my song. I remember when it first came out. Oh, that's my song. I said, girl, turn the radio
yeah.
off.
Right. I think like, there's definitely a huge shift in terms of gender roles now,
Yeah.
and that came from like our um husbands being put into jail, moms having to be single women
Yes.
and raising kids,
Yes.
and the kids seeing that, and the mom just,
It's deep. That
engraving it
that
into
goes deep in our culture.
deep.
Like it
Right,
goes
right,
so
right.
deep in the Black
Um,
culture, African American culture, African culture. Just the as
it
they
runs
always say,
deep.
when y'all gonna
It
let
runs
slavery go? Never, because it still impacts us today. Like when y'all were ripping
us
the
today.
husbands away from our families, away from their families, and then the mothers
Yeah.
were left to fend for themselves. We couldn't afford to. We can't be submissive. You took away our leader. You took
Right.
away.
Right,
Who we
right. So
gonna be submissive to?
now we got to become everything. And so, and it's out of the need. It's out of,
Yes.
there was a need, there was a hole that was left there. We had to fill that need, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, now we have to be the ones that we provide. We take care of it. We do it
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. We're doing everything. We wear all the hats. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, okay? Women don't want to be doing this. We don't want to
Ooh,
wear all the
I
hats.
listen, you just
We
took the
really
words out of
don't.
my mouth because I was about to say, men, with this being
Step
said, like
up.
like we just hit that ding ding ding. With this being said, again, it's not that women don't want to be submissive. And it's not even that I hate that I'm not gonna say it. It's not even that we don't want to be submissive. Y'all just need to know how to lead. It's not even that we don't want to be submissive. It's that we have been taught, the system has now taught us that we
Correct.
cannot be submissive because you could be snatched away from us. So what we
Correct.
really need y'all to do is be there
Yeah.
and
And
understand that you are.
we don't even know sometimes how to allow the guy who really wants to take care of us
Mhm.
to even take care of us, because
Yes,
we're still in the mind of, oh, I got to do this all on my own. I have
I
to do
gotta do
this
it
all
all
on
on
my
my
own,
own.
and
I
I
have to.
have to, I don't, I struggle with that
Yeah.
so
Like just I just really
much.
want men to understand, like, we aren't being Miss Independent because we want to be Miss Independent. We're being Miss Independent because we come from lineages of women who have had to be Miss Independent. They've had no choice but to be independent. So now we want to trust, we want to be able to give you this power to guide us and lead us, but you got to knock down some barriers. And I hate to say it, and I mean, any man who is, got an eye of what's happening in the world around us, you will understand this and get that. Be patient with us as well. We want to.
Yes.
We want to, but it
Y'all
can
can
be
see, but I
very
keep nodding my
scary.
head 100% to what
Because
Nia is
it could be
saying.
scary. It could be scary. We
Yeah.
come from households where, even when I've seen marriages, my grandparents were married. My grandmother has been married twice now, and, unfortunately, those marriages not necessarily worked out because, you know, men do what they do, or they're just not good people. Sometimes you marry
Yeah.
somebody and they turn out just not
Yeah.
to be a great guy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, be patient with women as well, and show us that consistency, show us those leadership qualities, show us that, we can trust you, and that are also overcoming the history that has placed us into
Yeah.
these uncomfortable places, especially for my people of color, you know, that we can defy and overcome the whole broken family that has kind of been placed on us because
Yeah.
of our past. I don't think it
100%.
started off this way. It did not start off this way.
No, we didn't. We
We were
want
accidents.
we women, be patient with your men and allow them to learn to get into that role, right?
Yep.
And if they say they want to do something, allow them to
Allow them
do
to.
it. Have them be the ones to do it, even if they're not going to do it right or do it to your standard. I'm saying this to myself because I told y'all, I just said I like things done the way I like things done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, like, I'm like, give it here. I'll just do it myself because I can do it right. That's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
Don't be like Stephanie. Be better than Stephanie. Okay. Um, Allow them to do it the wrong way. Just allow them to do it. Period.
Period.
Period. There's
Everything.
no there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If they say that they want to do something for you, allow them to step into that role and do it for you. And it's okay for
Mm-hmm.
you to let go of the reins and step back.
Mm-hmm.
The world is not going to fall apart. I was very much the person, like I said, I like things to be done the way I like them done,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to be in control. And it's like when somebody says, oh, they're going to do it, I don't like to ask for help. And when somebody says they're gonna do it, it's like, okay, are you gonna do it the right way, like how I feel like we need to do it, or are you gonna do it like half-ass and it's just gonna be messed up? I might as well just do it myself. So, I've struggled with that, but as I've gotten older, I've realized that I'm not a one woman band. I can't do all the things myself. I can't. And I want the help, and sometimes I just struggle with asking for help,
Yeah.
or being patient with somebody to help me, or not trusting enough to allow someone to
Mm-hmm.
help me. So it can be either of those things. So when your loved one, whoever it be it a man to a woman to man, or family members, it doesn't even matter. Anyone around you is trying to help you out. Let's start learning to allow people into our circles to
Mm-hmm.
help us. Not everyone is going to
Yep.
going to disappoint us. Not everyone is going to let us down, because that's
Yep.
the other fear. And even if they do, you know what? It's okay, because it's a learning progress. We're all learning. The guys are learning to step in and actually start doing and being there and providing the help.
Yeah.
And we as women need to start to learn to fall back and be more trusting and giving into
Yeah.
that, right? So relinquishing that need to always
That
want to
control.
control and want to have, because we don't want to be disappointed. It's so much to unpack in that, so much to
So
unpack,
much.
but we can only grow or heal from it all, from all that hurt that Nia was mentioning, if we start to take action towards allowing people in and allowing people to help us,
Yep.
so I that's actually one of my my resolutions or my
Yeah.
goals is relinquishing the, I don't want to say power, but that need to always want to be in control. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Relinquishing control is one of those things that I'm trying to work on. My patience is one of the things I'm trying
And I
to
was gonna
work
say,
on.
Those are
Yeah.
key. I think those are really, when it comes to this whole topic of submission, it's all about that trust and patience. Like that's truly it. Like men, if you want a woman to be submissive, you know, she has to trust you. She has
Absolutely.
to trust you.
That other relationship that I had that didn't work out, and I said I was partly at fault for it. That's
Hmm.
one of those things. It's like you can't, if somebody wants to step in and or not even somebody wants to step in, but like if you are not willing to let somebody do their part, how are they supposed to feel needed? How do they, if they feel like, oh, you got it all under control and you feel like, you're doing
Where do I
everything,
fit?
you're
Where
doing
do I
everything.
belong? And that, and in that say, and then in that sense, when I've heard instances of men saying, in that case, you know,
What you need
not
me for?
necessarily you don't let me be a man, but
Yeah,
like
or
you
what you need
don't
me
let
for
me,
then,
you don't, yeah, what do you need me for? What do you won't let
we
me
need
do
you,
this?
man. We need
We
you. We
do.
need
We
you to
do.
pick
And
up the
women,
stuff at the top of the drawer, all the way at the top where we can't reach. And we
or
also
take my
need you
car
to
to the
like hug
Goodwill.
us
Waiting.
and love on us and take care of us.
That
Not
too.
just that too, right? Right. We
That
need your
too. Oh,
support. We need
we
your
need men.
encouragement. We need your love. We need you for our sons and our daughters. We need you,
Yes.
men. So step
Yes.
up.
So,
Step up and
step
don't be
up,
afraid to step
show
up.
us, and women fall back and let them show you.
And
Let
let them,
them show
sis.
you.
When
Y'all
he say
step
he's
up,
gonna mow the
you won't
lawn,
fall
let
back.
them mow the lawn. When he say he's gonna do the dishes, let him do the dishes.
Let
He
them
say
do
he's
it.
gonna pick up the kids. Trust that he'll be on time, and even if he's late, it's fine. He picked up the
Did he
kids.
get the kids?
Okay,
Okay, that's all that matters. Like
put
that.
a
That
reminder
is
on his
key.
phone. Like
That is
help them help
key.
themselves.
Because trust me, I feel like in the relationships that I have seen where the women do allow the men to lead, there are times when the guy gonna make a choice or decision that ain't the greatest, and you gonna know. They know. The women have told me, like, yeah, girl, I knew that wasn't gonna be no good
I knew
idea.
that
But
was gonna
okay,
work.
and then guess what? The men always come back like, yeah, you was right.
Right, you right, right. But you know
You were
what you
right.
do? You work it out on the other side.
Oh,
You just have
okay,
your
now this is
backup.
what we're gonna do to fix it. Okay, so like, it creates. I think that that part of that submission, to me at least, um, is a component for a healthy relationship. It
Yeah.
is. You got to know your part. You got to know your
Yeah.
part. You got to
You
know
gotta know
your
your
role
role.
and what that looks like in your relationship. So if you know, hey, my part is I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna give my 2 cents, but I'm gonna let you run it. And then when you, if you do great, great. But you mess up, you know you can come back to me, and I still got your back
Exactly.
because I know you got my back in the end. I know that whatever you were doing, you thought it was the best thing for us.
And when you see that it's about to go left, sis, just start that backup plan. Have
Thank
that
you.
backup plan ready.
So,
So if
okay.
he's stumbling, if your king is stumbling, you can come in with the assist, and you're like, you know what, babe, I got you. Let's do it like this. Let's pivot. So
There we go.
y'all like a team. You know what I'm saying? It's great. It's great.
Gang,
I like
gang.
it.
They can't
Gang,
stop y'all
gang.
that way. They can't stop y'all.
Gang,
Okay.
gang.
So that's that. I think that is the perfect takeaway right there. Like this
Right.
is bigger than just the whole term submission. It's bigger than
Right.
that, y'all. Like,
Right. Y'all
and
need
it
to
is,
be
and
a
it is an
unit.
important part of that relationship, that unity, that team. Okay. Like it's something that you really can't get away from. And I highly suggest that y'all talk about what parts y'all going to play if you're in that dating stage. You gotta know how we gonna
That's
mix
it.
together. You gotta
From
know.
jump. From jump.
Because
Yeah.
that's why I could say for me, if I'm saying this is what I want, this is how I see it, and the man is saying, no, we gonna both work. Well, no, you and your woman
Nia
gonna
already
work.
said these are my terms and conditions, but if you can't we can't work this out. Oh, bye.
I think. Bye.
Bye. Bye. It's been real.
It has. But you ain't the one.
Well, that's a good note to close the show
It
on,
is.
okay?
It
Just
is.
go ahead and find you your ride out partner,
That's
and
it.
y'all just gonna, talk about what y'all want and just work it out. Communication, always the key.
That
Always
is.
the key. So, all right, but go ahead and drop your handles.
So, of course, you guys know you can find me on all social media at Nia, that's NIA underscore Idri. And also, I wanted to just shout out my nail tech again, okay? Lack Jack at
I
the
like that.
Lacquer
That's nice.
Berry. Girl, you know we was channeling some Lisa Frank today, okay?
It's cute. I was
So
gonna say maybe a little Mardi Gras
a
too.
little bit, yeah. So the Lacquer the
Oh,
Berry, black owned business, and here in Orlando, Florida. So I had to shout her out too. Like,
yes, love it. And you already know the GrownupIsh Podcast on IG, the GrownupIsh on Twitter, the GrownupIsh Pod is the website. Like,
Mhm.
subscribe, share. More letters, please. More letters. I'm so
That was
excited.
great.
Thank you again, Lisa, for writing
We
us. That
appreciate
was
you, girl.
awesome. And we are going to have more to share next week. And thank you for joining us. It's been real. Bye.
Bye.